How's everyone doing?
See, good morning, Coach.
Good day. God bless everyone.
Coach, good morning to you. And as always, thank you so much for taking some time to join us. Coach, if you could please start us out with an opening statement about your team's most recent outing versus Alcorn State.
First and foremost, it was an honor and a pleasure to play opposite of Coach McNair. To me, he's one of the best, man, in HBCU, one of the best coaches, period. Forget HBCU. He's one of the best. And I really admire him a lot. A couple years ago, when my son was being recruited by Southern Miss, we went on a visit and they were playing against them. And I made it a point to go in their locker room and meet this gentleman because of how much admiration that I have for him. But to compete against those guys, they were tough, they were disciplined, man, and they played their butts off. Thank God we were victorious, but it was a great game. We played well defensively as usual. We gave up maybe a couple plays that we shouldn't have. We gave up the deep ball. I'm sure of that. Offensively, we started off slow as normal. Really didn't have a running game, but we made the plays when we had to make plays. It was a phenomenal game, phenomenal contest. Blew my mind seeing our people unite in one setting. It was just driving to the game was spectacular to me. It was so spectacular seeing and it was like around 10 o'clock. Shoot, I mean, you had to get there early and people were parking everywhere. It was so spectacular to me. It's something that I would never forget.
Appreciate those comments, Coach. First question goes to Charles Bishop.
Good morning, Coach. How you doing?
What's going on, boss man?
Hey, I wanted to ask a very unique situation with regards to the number of seniors this past weekend, Senior Day. But just talk about this class and how they've sort of or reset the foundation for Jackson State football. A lot of new faces that have come in and have really turned things around for Jackson State.
Well, I think it was around 70 players that got up out of here. That's the reason we're able to bring in the people that we needed. And some of those seniors, I allowed the seniors to speak on Friday night, just anything they wanted to share in their hearts. And some that were here previously talked about not winning and that feeling, and now the feeling that they have right now and the feeling of them having some importance, the way we travel, the way we do things, the professionalism that we display, and the guys that we brought in that are our seniors. They came here with one thing in mind. We said, we just want you to believe. Just believe what we're telling you, believe what we're teaching you, just believe what the culture that we're changing. And they have. And the rest is historical.
Sure thing. And follow up on that, post-game, you gave Coach Flea an opportunity to say some words in regards to this season. What has Coach Flea and this staff sort of meant to you this past season?
Coach Flea, that's my dog. I love him, and I admire him, and I appreciate him so much. What he brings to me, you would never know. And I can remember some things in the spring he just whispered to me on the sideline that made sure I refocused. And for me to have a guy like that in my absence, I felt good. That's the best stepdaddy my kids could ever have. he really is. And easing me back in, he's guided me and eased me back and made sure, I'm strong and I got my strength and I'm ready and I'm capable and I'm me. So I love him to life. And what he's brought to us this year has been unbelievable. He's truly an asset.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
My man.
Next, we'll take a question from Jean-Jacques Taylor.
What's up, my friend?
You got big timers on here. Jesus, we must be winning. We must be winning.
Hey, man, how did you and Ashley go from boss employee to friends, brothers? Ashley
Pursued me when I didn't even fathom this. And he called, and he did his homework. He would call and say things like, how did Bossy play? Well, how you know I call my daughter Bossy? In basketball season, how many points she dropped last night? How did Grown do? How do you know I called Shador Grown? He did things that, and it was on point and on his game that endeared me to him. And we have such a wonderful relationship that we've learned so much from one another. It's unbelievable, and it's really a great match. I think the SWAC could definitely learn, because there's always some bull junk. It's gonna be the coach and the AD, the coach and somebody's gonna be some bull junk going on somewhere. Y'all know that. I ain't saying nothing that's new. But here, me and Ashley, man, I just checked on the thing. I just texted my AD. You know, he know what that means. That means, how you doing? What's up? Where you at? He's coming back from the volleyball tournament. He's on his way back, because I gotta sit down and have dinner with my man so we can prepare. See, we always thinking ahead, so we trying to prepare for what's next.
What's the one thing you learned from him this year?
We can do whatever we want to do. We can do whatever we want to do. It just has to be done in certain ways, but we can do it. I give you an example. Say, for instance, we had a budget in the spring. This is how well we work together. This is a true example. We had a budget in the spring to, I think we had 6 games. What, we had 4 home games, something like that. So that means 4 times going to a hotel, all the kids in the rooms, equate that. That's probably $30,000 a weekend. Okay, times 4, that's probably 120 G's that we're going to spend for home games in the spring. Please, I said, we ain't spending no 120 in the spring for no hotels. I'm going to teach these guys to be disciplined. And if I catch one of them out in the streets, because I got a lot in the streets, and they're going to tell me who at the club, then they're going to take a picture of them and send it to me, and they ain't going to play. So we got to train them right. So I tell you what, I'm going to say you 120 G's, but I need 25 of it, because I need some new helmets right here. All right?
Right.
So you clearing 95. He said, deal. so that's how that's one small example of how we work together.
I appreciate it. I'm coming to see you next week.
I know you. You know I'm coming to the crib now.
Oh, well, I might see you in a couple of days then.
That's what I'm saying. Just come on, sit on the porch with me, man. Let's talk.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
Love you, man.
All right, bro.
Next question goes to Stephen Gaither.
Coach Prime, how you doing this morning?
How you doing, sir?
Doing well. Just came through. You are finalists for the Eddie Robinson Award for the top coach in FCS football. Obviously, you do this for so many other different reasons and awards, but just talk about what it means your first year to be up for an award named after a legend like that.
Man, you just hit me with something, my brother. Eddie Robinson, man.
Yes, sir. You're a finalist for it.
Dude, do you know who Eddie Robinson is and was? Like Eddie Robinson, man? Like that to me is that's astounding, man. That you got me speechless, and you know I'm good with my mouthpiece. Eddie Robinson, man, like shoot, just to be mentioned. And that is truly a gift from God. Just to be mentioned, just to be nominated for that is unbelievable. Eddie Robinson, God, you know how many times I watched this man coach, man, this man do what he did. Oh God, that's a blessing. I'm a very appreciative, and I'm floored.
As a follow-up really quick, Shedeur is up for the Jerry Rice Award for Freshman of the Year, as well as the Walter Payton. Again, your son mentioned with some of the greats. Just talk about what that means for you and coming here.
Well, that one now, you might as well bring that one on him. We shoot, let's start playing. Okay. Now that one there, now I'm floored for the Ed Robinson. But that right there, please just bring that on in and put a bow on that one. I'm proud of him, man. I'm proud of him with the way he's played, the way he sees the field, the way he's encouraged his teammates, the way he approaches practice daily, the way he gets on their butts when they're not doing what they need to do. I'm just proud of his maturity and who he is on and off the field. I really am.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Thank you, sir.
Last question goes to James Hill.
Coach Prime, I hope you and everybody at J-State are well. Can you talk a little bit about just going forward into the SWAC championship? And also we look over and we see FAMU getting an opportunity as a HBCU in the FCS playoffs.
Please, I just dropped the video for Coach Simmons about that. That's my man. That's my guy. That is another wow moment. That is another moment that we're going to stick a flag in the ground for HBCU football. And I am a FAMU Rattler fan right now. Let me see if I got see, I got my orange whistle. I'm going to wear my orange whistle all week because I'm representing FAM, and I want them to win. I want them to dominate. And I'm not saying I want Coach Simmons to go somewhere because he's so good, but he's so good for his team. But that man can coach, man. He can coach his butt off. And I see a lot of job openings in college football. And come on, man, that dude right there is a real coach. And I love him to life, and his wisdom and the things that he imparts in me is second to none. I don't know what to say, man. Give me another part of your question. I forgot because I'm so floored with FAMU. I'm happy with that. I'm so happy for us as a HBCU with that. Is that the first time? Has that ever happened?
That's a good question. We'll find out.
20 years. Dennis, you go.
Yeah, in 5 years. Yeah.
Dennis spit that thing like a
first time since 1997 for the conference in Jackson State.
There you go. All right. The SWAC championship, next stop. Just talk about taking your team forward as you guys continue to compete for a national championship.
Well, I'll tell you what. We won Saturday and we played well, but guess what happened on Sunday? We were at practice. We practice on Sundays. We work. We get it in. The guys that play 70% of the plays, they don't have to do anything physical, but we have to fix what we messed up. And the guys that didn't play 70% of the plays, that's the way we develop guys. And that's why we choose to go on Sundays and make sure they ain't out there doing nothing stupid on Saturday nights. But we're going forward, man. We get a head start. We get a head start in preparation. We get a head start on just preparing for Prairie View. And they have another game left. When they got to drive, they just got finished playing. I don't know who did their schedule. They just got finished playing Texas A&M. Then they got to drive all the way to Mississippi Valley. Then they got to drive back. And they got to drive all the way back to right here to Mississippi for us. I don't know who did their schedule, but I'm thankful whoever did it. Tell them God bless them. Because that's exhausting. And there's no way I would have scheduled my team against a Power 5 team at the conclusion of the season. You do that at the beginning of the season, man. You don't do that to those kids mentally right now. I just watched the quarterback get hit so hard, I failed. I failed when I watched him on that backside blitz that they didn't pick up for him. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a wonderful game. I'm just praying that all our fans pour into the stadium, and we want to expect at least 50,000. That's what we desire. That's what we want. It's going to be hard for those fans to come all the way down from Houston, especially if they just coming back from Houston. I mean, coming from Houston to Mississippi back to back. I don't think that's going to happen. But we're hoping is it Jacksonians? Is that correct? Attend the game and support us tremendously because we feed off the fans. But the only game we lost was in down the street, Monroe, because we had a handful of fans. There's a cup full of fans came to the game, and we feed off them. They mean so much to us and so much to our kids. Appreciate it,
sir. Enjoy your holiday this week and a sweet potato pie or whatever you like to eat.
Yeah, I think some yams and black-eyed peas and smelling rice. That's how I get down. Oxtail.
All right.
We missed one question in the queue. If we could just take one final question from Kendrick Marshall.
Yeah, Coach. Just wanted to ask you about the maturation process of your program from the spring to the fall. You guys were 500 last year, and now you SWAC East champs and going to play for a championship. How gratifying is it as a coach to watch your team progress in that way?
It's great. I think we were 4-3 actually. Give me that one that they forfeited. I need that one. I need that one for my record. Make sure we was over 500, right? It was 4-3. But we had to clean house. We had to get rid of some guys that didn't have it. Smart, tough, fast, discipline. I'm serious about that. And then character. We needed those guys to have 3 of those attributes out of those 4, but have character. And we had to clean it out. We just is what it is. We had to get some common people that understood the vision, understood the want, the desire, and had the passion for the purpose of what we're trying to attain. And we got them in here. The sad thing about it, we have about 7 kids that are ineligible right now academically from transfers. And I don't know how that happens because some kids transfer into a school and they lose a ton of credits. We got to fix that on the HBU realm. We had kids that could have come here and end up going to Kansas, but you could get in Kansas, but you can't get in Jackson State. We don't understand that whatsoever. So we got to fix a whole lot of this stuff in the off season. And I'm pretty sure we will. And I'm not the only one dealing with this because I talked to several coaches around the SWAC and HBCUs that are dealing with the same process. But we just got some kids in here that have a winning attitude, a winning mindset. And we didn't have to convince them and they didn't buy in, they just committed. And that was the difference in the consistency of that. And we don't let it slide. When we say get to the ball on defense, you get to the ball or you don't play. When we call this play an offense and the depth is 10 yards on this route and you run 9, you coming out. You're not going to play. If we have a meeting at this time and you come in there, meeting at 7:05 or 7 o'clock, and you come in there at 7:55, you might as well walk on out because I usually start the meetings at probably 7:52, 53, just to get them understanding this is what life is going to be like when you are employed or when you go to the league or whatever. But we have a whole different culture around here, and you got to see it to understand it. You got to be involved in it to understand it. But it's a different day. Mr. Bishop and Jock, they've been around and they've seen what I'm talking about, and it's a different day. You can't even come on our practice field unless you have black socks. Or you going home. We just during the game, before the game, I come out there when we stretching and somebody have on the socks cut and all this, I just point to the locker room. Because you ain't playing today. And they go right in there and change, or they're not gonna play. And I don't care who they are. So we've changed the thought process and the culture, and we have an expectation to win. You have an expectation. I'm not just talking about me. You got an expectation that I won. And I fulfilled it. I'm the only darn coach in this first season you expected to win. You was going to kill me if I didn't. So build me because I did.
Coach Simmons always do a great job